Dr. Banks here. So let us be drawing to the conclusion of our series on Z transforms. Okay. So right now, let's talk about the inverse Z transform. So inverse Z transform. Okay. So basically, simply it is what? IZT. Okay. So now the inverse, you know that the Z transform, it helps us to get x of Z from what? From x of what? Sorry. The Z transform, it helps us to get x, like for example, if I have x of n, okay, if I have x of n, the Z transform will help me to get x of what? Z. Okay, will help me to get what? X of Z. Now, if I want x of n from x of z, then I will use that. So this one is what? Z transform. So if I want x of n from x of z, then I'll use the what? Inverse Z transform. So now if I have x of what? Z, and I want x of what? N. In that case, I'll use the inverse Z transform. Okay. And what is that? We know that the Z transform, this is the formula for the Z transform, that it is like this, okay? The general formula, okay? Using the two-sided Z transform approach, okay? X of n into Z exponent minus n, okay? This is for the Z transform. Then for the inverse Z transform, we have x of what? N, okay? To be equals to 1 on what? 2 pi j, okay, into the integral of z exponent n minus 1, okay, into x of what? Z d what? dz. So this is the approach, the formula for the inverse Z transform. So to use this formula, we have a number of approaches. There are 4 of them, okay. The first one is called the long division method. Long division method, which is called a power series. And then we have the partial fraction method. And then we have the residue method. And then we have the conventional method. Okay, so in this particular class, we are going to we're going to utilize the long division method, okay, or the power series method, okay. So let's see how we can utilize the power series method to find the Z, the sequence, okay, of from some Z transforms, okay. So here we're going to be given the Z transform, and our approach will be to find the what? X of n, or the sequence from that particular Z transform that we have. Okay, so let me just write here long division method, okay. Okay, so let me just write here long division what? Method, or power series what? Method, or power series method, okay, or power series method. Okay, so now here let's look at some of the x of n that we can have. Okay, so for example, if I have x of n of, let's say, 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, x of n like this, okay, then here, let's say my arrow is like this. This is what? This is basically what? A right-sided what? Sequence. It's a right-sided sequence. So if this is a right-sided sequence, then my x, if I take Z transform of both sides, then I'll get what? Say Z both sides. Okay, then I'm going to get what? I'm going to have here, I'm going to have 1 into z exponent here, z here, I'll start here, this place is what? N is equal to 0. Okay, so z exponent 0 is what? 1. Okay, then I'll have what? 2z exponent minus 1 plus what? 3 into z exponent minus 2 plus what? 4z exponent minus what? Minus 3. Okay, so basically this will be the z transform for this particular series. Okay, and this one is called what? It's a causal series, or it is a right-sided what? Series. Okay, because you can see that everything is moving to the right. So this one is a what? A causal, okay, or right-sided what? Sequence. Okay, because you can see that everything is moving to the right. So what I want to tell you right now here is that whenever you have the right-sided sequence, your powers will be in negatives. You have negative powers. Okay, you have negative powers. What about if the sequence were like this? X of n, which is equals to 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here it was like this. Okay, it was rather on this one. Okay, so here we are going to have what? A left-sided sequence, or you can see that all the powers are moving to what? To the left, because here is n is equal to 0 and they are all moving to the left. Okay, so now in this one, if I should take z transform, so this one is what? Left-sided sequence, or anticausal what? Sequence. Okay, so this one is called what? Left what? Sided sequence, or anti what? Anticausal sequence. Okay, so here if I should take z transform of this place, then I'm going to have what? I'm going to have here is going to be what? I'm going to start from here. Okay, I'm going to start from here. So 4 into z exponent 0. Okay, it will be what? 4 plus 3 into what? Z exponent what? Minus 1 minus 1. It will be what? 3 exponent what? Z. Okay, plus what? 2 exponent z squared plus what? Z what? Cube. And then so this will be my what? My sequence. Okay, this will be my sequence in this particular case. But here what you can see is that I have what? Positive powers of z. Okay, positive powers of z. Okay, positive powers of z. Why am I iterating this one? Because we taught this one at the beginning of the z transforms. I'm iterating this one so that because it's going to help us in our current discussions in inverse z transforms using the long division method. So whenever we have a right-sided signal or a causal signal, our answers will be negative powers of what? Z. And whenever we have a left-sided or anticausal signal, our answers will be in what? Positive powers of what? Z. Okay, so that is why I'm iterating this one. So from here we will go on to the long division method. So using the long division method, okay, using long division method, okay, find the inverse z transform of I. Okay, 1 over 1 minus a is z minus 1. Okay, and then the ROC for this particular z transform is z greater than what? A. Okay, z greater than A. All right. Okay, so then we have II. Okay, 1 over what? 1 minus AZ minus 1. Okay, here we have Z less than what? A. Okay, Z less than A. Okay, so please, when you see Z greater than A, that means that the sequence is what? It's at the right side. So it's supposed to be what? A right-sided what? Sequence. Okay, it's at the right side. So our sequence must be what? Our sequence should be at the right side because Z is greater than what? A. And here it's what? A left-sided sequence or anticausal sequence because it's lying at the what? At the left are the negative of what? Of the A. So now let's take the first question. So now in the first question we have what? I, which is what? 1 over 1 minus AZ what? Inverse. Okay. And then mod Z is greater than what? A. Great. Okay, so now let's see how we can use long division to do this. Okay, so here, let me write here 1 minus AZ what? Inverse. Okay, and then here is what? 1. And then like this. Alright, so how do we deal with this one? Okay, so now the first thing is that we're going to look for a number which when we multiply a number, okay, which when we multiply that number by this one, you will get this one. Or we're going to divide this one by this one, okay. That is what simply it means, okay. So let's get a rough sheet and see how we can actually deal with this one, okay. So let's say this number that we have here, okay, we are going to divide this number by this number. What do we get? So 1 over 1 is equals to what? 1. So in that case, I'll write what? 1 here. So now 1 multiplied by 1 will give me what? 1. And 1 multiplied by this guy will give me AZ minus what? Minus 1. Now I'll subtract this one. I'll subtract this guy from whatever is here. So 1 minus 1 will give me what? 0. This one minus what is here will give me what? Basically this one, his companion here is 0. So 0 minus this one. So I'll get what? I'll get 0 AZ minus 1 minus, okay, another minus is here. Minus what? AZ minus 1. What will I get? I'll get what? Positive AZ what? Minus 1 like this. Okay, so that means that here I'll get what? Plus positive AZ what? Minus what? 1. Okay, AZ minus 1. That's what I'll get. Okay, so now the next thing is this one. This one, how many times will it go here? Okay, this one, how many times will it go here? Or this one divided by this guy, what will it give you? Okay, so now what it means is that this one divided by this guy, what will it give you? Okay, AZ what? Inverse over what? 1. What will it give me? You know what? AZ what? Inverse. Okay, so I'll get what? Positive AZ what? Inverse. Okay, then this one multiplied by this, what will I get? I'll get what? AZ what? Inverse. This one multiplied by this, what will I get? Okay, I'll get negative. I'll get negative A squared and then what? Z what? Minus 2. That is what I'll get. Okay, now this one subtracted. Now I'll do the subtraction. This minus this, I'll get what? 0. Okay, I'll get 0. Then this minus what is here, I'll get positive. Okay, because it will be what? 0 minus this guy. Okay, so I'll get what? Positive. So A squared what? Z squared. Now this guy, this guy, okay, this guy, how many times can it go here? Okay, it will be what? This guy divided by this guy. So it will be what? A squared, okay, divided, sorry please, here, you see that A exponent minus 2. So please, I must bring minus here. Okay, I must bring minus here. Alright, so now here, it will be A squared into what? Z minus 2 over what? 1. I'll get this guy again. What will I get? I'll get what? A squared Z minus what? 2. So here I'll get plus what? A squared Z minus what? 2. Okay, this times this one, I'll get what? A squared what? Z inverse what? Squared. Now this guy times this guy, what will I get? I'll get negative. Okay, A exponent what? 3, and then Z exponent minus what? 3. Okay, so now here I'll get what? 0. Here I'll get what? Plus A cube Z minus what? 3. Okay, so now this guy, this guy, how many times can it go here? Okay, it can go here by when you divide this guy by this guy. So when I divide A cube z what minus 3 by 1. What will I get? I'll get a cube z minus what 3. So I'll get what plus a what cube into z minus what 3. Okay, so now let me multiply. If I multiply, I'll get what a cube into what z minus what 3. If I multiply it by here, what will I get? Okay, I'll get negative what e exponent what 4 into z exponent minus what 4. Okay, after reaching here, you can stop. Okay, you can stop because you can see that the series will go on and on and on. So here I can say that plus it goes on to what infinity. Okay, it goes on to infinity. So now here, after reaching here, I can just stop. Okay, so now what is going to be my series? Okay, so now my series here, x of z here is going to be what 1. Okay, it will be this answer. Okay, it will be 1 plus e z minus 1 plus e squared z minus 2 plus a cube z minus what minus 3 plus it goes on to what infinity. It goes on to infinity. All right, now what will be my x of n? My x of n will be this particular series. So now my x of n is going to be what is going to be 1, okay, comma e, okay, e squared, okay, a cube, okay, plus okay, then it will go on to what to infinity. Okay, and then it will go on to infinity. Okay, so basically that is how you can actually know the z transform for this one. Okay, that's how you can know the z transform for this one. All right, okay, we will go to the next question. So let's see the second aspect. Okay, the second part. So here the second part, we have what we are given. Okay, we are given x of what z to be equals to 1 over what 1, okay, minus a z what inverse, and we are told that mod z at the ROC is less than what is less than a. Okay, so now here what can we do? Okay, so here you know that it is what anticausal sequence. It's anticausal sequence. So if it's anticausal sequence, then what is going to happen is that it has to be what our powers has to be what positive what powers. Okay, when it's anticausal sequence, this is how we write the division sign. Okay, in anticausal sequence, I'll bring here this part first. So I'll make here minus a z what inverse plus 1. Okay, for anticausal sequence, that's how you do it. Okay, and here is what 1, and then you. So now, how many times can it go here? How will you know? Okay, so this is how you can actually know that one. Okay, how to know that one is to do this. Okay, you can say that 1 over minus a z what inverse. This is equals to what? This is equals to what? 1 over what? Minus a. Okay, minus a into what? Into z. Okay, into z. Okay, so into what? Minus 1 over what? A into what? Positive z. Okay, because this one here is what? Because actually it is what? Minus 1. It is what? Sorry. It is what? 1 over what? Minus a. Okay, into what? Into here you have what? 1 over z. Okay, 1 over z is what? Z over what? 1. Okay, so it will give you what? Z over what? Minus what? A. Okay, so this is what you're going to get. Okay, this is what you're going to get. So that means that here I'm going to get what? 1 over what? A, which is what? Minus, and then the z will come here. Okay, now let me multiply this one by this one. If I multiply this by this, what will I get? Okay, so now I'm trying to find some rough papers so that I can actually do this for you to see. Okay, I'm not seeing some of my rough papers. Rough papers are scarce for me. Okay, so now let's see. So here minus a, okay, into what? Z minus 1, okay, times minus 1 over what? A into what? Z. Okay, so this guy will cancel this guy. Okay, and then here exponent 1, a exponent minus 1. Okay, so basically it will be what? It will be 1. It will be what? 1. Okay, because it's actually minus a over what? Z. Okay, times what? Minus 1 over a into what? Z. So this will cancel this will what? Cancel this. Okay, so you get what? 1. Okay, you get 1. Okay, so now that means that I'll get 1 over here. Okay, now this guy times this guy, how will it give me? It will give me minus 1 over a into what? Z. Okay, so now this guy, okay, how many times can it? Okay, no, sorry, let me subtract first. Here I'll get what? 0. And then here, what will I get? I'll get here, see that there's nothing here. Okay, there is nothing here, so it's going to be what? It's going to be, there's nothing there, so it will be what? 0 minus 1 over a what? Z, which is equals to what? 1 over a what? Z positive. Okay, which is equals to this. Okay, this is equals to this. Okay, okay, so now here, what will I get? I'll get 1 over a what? Z. Okay, I'll get 1 over a z. Okay, that is what I'll get. Okay, so now this one, how many times can it go into this one? Okay, how many times can it go into this one? Okay, to know how many times that it can go into this one, this is what I can actually do. Okay, this is what I can actually do. So I just have to divide it. Okay, I just have to divide it and then see. So now I have, okay, I have 1. Okay, now I have 1 over a, okay, z, okay, divided by, okay, divided by, or times z over what? Minus what? A over times 10 is over minus a. What will I get? I'll get what? Z squared. Okay, and I'll get what? Minus a what? Squared. Okay, and I'll get minus a squared. This is what I'll get. Okay, so here I'm going to get what? I'm going to get I got negative. See that I got negative what? Z squared over what? Minus a squared. So I got what? Negative z squared over what? A what? Squared. Now this times this guy, how will I get? Okay, so now this one, so now what I will do is that I'll just have minus a over what? Z. Okay, this one, okay, is what? Minus a over z times what? Times minus z squared over what? A squared. Okay, so now this will cancel this. I'll have what? Z here. This will cancel this. I'll have what? A here. So I'll have positive z over what? A. Okay, so now that means that if I this one multiply by this one, I'll get what? Here I can write the 0 and then I'll write the plus. Okay, so here I got what? 1 over what? A what? Positive z over what? A. Okay, I got positive z over A. So now this one times this one, I'll get what? Minus what? Z squared over what? A squared. Okay, so now if I should subtract, I'll get what? 0. Okay, I'll get here to be what? Positive. Okay, positive. Positive what? Z squared over what? A squared. Okay, so now this one, how many times can it go here? Okay, it can go here. If I will know that one, then I should have what? Z squared over what? A squared. I should have what? Z squared over what? Z squared over A squared. Z squared over what? A squared. Okay, divided by what? This one. Divided by this one. Okay, so I can say that times what? Times z over what? Minus a. Okay, because this one, if you doing it in the division with what? Z over what? Minus a. Okay, because basically it's minus a, okay, is actually minus a over what? Z. So if it's becoming multiplication, then the z will come up and the minus a will come what? Down. So now if you do it this way, okay, this place is minus, so let me put minus here. Okay, so now here what I'll have is that I'll have what? Z cubed over what? Z cubed over what? Minus a what? Cube. Okay, so that means that z cube over minus a cube. Okay, so that means that I can have what, z cube over what, minus a what cube. So here it's going to be what, negative. There's negative here. So negative z cube over what, a what cube. Okay, so now this guy times this guy, what will I get? Okay, I'll get what, z squared over what, a squared. I'll get z squared over what, a squared. And this guy times this guy, what will I get? I'll get minus z cube over what, a what cube. Okay, so now what can I do? I can just subtract. Okay, I can just subtract and then move on and on and on. But if I'm able to get about 3, I can just say that, let's say, it could have been minus also. Okay, up to what? Infinity. Up to infinity. Okay, so now, what is my x of z in this particular sequence? So I can say that x of what? Z is equals to minus 1 over az, okay, minus z cube over what? Is minus z squared, okay, over what? A squared minus what? Z cube over what? A cube, okay. Let's say plus, okay. It could have been minus, okay, or you can put plus there because I'm not calculating it. I'm just saying that it's up to infinity. Okay, so now my x of n is going to be equals to what? My s of n is going to be equals to what? Minus 1 over a, minus 1 over a, okay, minus 1 over a squared, okay, minus 1 over a what cube, okay, and then it goes on and on to what? Infinity. Okay, so this is the what? The power series. This is the power series, the long division what method. But if I write my answer in this particular pattern, okay, I will be wrong. I'll be wrong. Why? Because I know that whenever we are talking about the anticursor, that means that it's from what? 0 to infinity. 0 to infinity. So that means that this, if I write my answer in this manner, I'll be wrong. So I must start from what? 0, comma, what is the next one? Minus 1 over a. Okay, comma, what's the next one? Minus 1 over what? A squared, comma, what's the next one? Minus 1 over a what? Cube. Okay, and it is going to what? Minus what? Infinity. Okay, so this should be the right way that I must what? Write my answer. Here n is equals to 0. So here x of n is equals to what? This. Okay, alright. So basically this is how you can write your answer. And then you can know that this one is a power series, and then it is what? Anticursor or left-sided sequence, because you see that one gives us what? Positive powers of what? Z, and we are getting positive powers of what? Z. See you in the next class.